Welcome. In this tutorial, I'm going to talk you through a commonly used style of referencing known as Harvard referencing. When you're writing a piece of academic work, you'll be researching and reading a lot of work done by others to help you formulate your own ideas and arguments. You need to acknowledge where you found the information, not only because it is fair to give credit to the person whose hard work you are using, but also to avoid plagiarism. When using the Harvard referencing system, there are two stages to highlighting other people's work and your own: citing and referencing. Citing or a citation is what you do within the text of your essay, where you highlight words and ideas you've incorporated from somebody else's work. Referencing is where you put all your details of the source of the information that you've used at the end of your work in a separate section. The way that you use citation in your work depends on whether you are using a direct word-for-word quote from a piece of work, or if you're putting someone else's ideas into your own words. If you're copying a statement word for word, you need to put quotation marks around it. If you're writing someone else's ideas in your own words, then you don't need to use quotation marks. For both direct quotes and putting someone else's work into your own words, you need to, however, indicate the source of the information in brackets at the end. These details are there to lead the reader to the full information at the back of the document. A citation only includes a maximum of 3 pieces of information. If using a direct quote, this will be the author's surname, the year the source was published, and the page number. If it is not a direct quote, you should include the author or authors and the year. The reference section of your work should include all the information about the source of the statement that you have used in your essay. Each separate source of information should always start with the same information as the citation in your essay, so the source material details can be easily found. You should organise each source alphabetically by the author. If for any reason there is no author, you should use the title of the source instead. Under the Harvard system, the order you present your information for each of your sources has to be done in a particular way. If you got your information from a book, then you need to write down the following: the author or editor, the year of publication in round brackets, the title of the book in italics, bold or underlined, the edition if it is not the first edition, and the place of publication and the publisher. If you use information from an e-book in your work, then you need to write down the following: the author or editor, the year of publication, the title in italics, bold or underlined, the words available at followed by the URL of the ebook, the word accessed followed by the date that you accessed the information in brackets. If you use information from an edited book, then you need to write down the following: the author of the chapter or section, the year of publication in round brackets, the title of the chapter or section in single quotation marks, the word in, followed by the editor of the book, the title of the book in italics, bold or underlined, publisher details, and then the page reference for the chapter. If you use information from a journal in your work, then you need to write down the following: the author or authors, the year of publication, the title of the article in single quotation marks, the title of the journal in italics, bold or underlined, the volume and issue, and the page numbers. If you use information from an online journal in your work, then you need to write down the following: the authors, year of publication, title of the article in single quotation marks, the title of the journal in italics, bold or underlined, the volume, issue and page numbers, and then available at, followed by the URL details, then the word accessed, and the date that you accessed it. Here's an example of a reference for a photograph following a similar format. If you use information from a web page, you need to include the author or publishing organisation, the year that the site was published or last updated in round brackets, the title of the internet site in italics, bold or underlined, the words available at and the URL details, the words accessed, and then the date that you accessed it. Here's an example of a web page with no authors, where the author's details have been replaced by the title of the web page. So here is an example of citations within a piece of text. There is acknowledgement of two authors, and then there's a direct quote. Here are the references for these citations: two books and a web page. Here's another example of citations within the text. So there is acknowledgement of the authors, and then another direct quote. Again, these are the references for the last example, both journal articles. So if you'd like some more information on Harvard referencing, please speak to library staff, or I would also recommend that you check out a copy of the Pears and Shields text, which is really useful go-to if you have any queries about referencing. Thank you.